Yeah, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world, Nigerians in particular. Do you remember the statement of Ahmadu Bello few days after Nigerian independence, October 12th, 1960? He said that the new nation called Nigeria is the estate of their great-grandfather Usman Dan Fodio, that they will use the minority of the North as willing tools and the South as conquered territory, and will never allow them to rule over them, who are the caliphate. I mean, the Fulani Caliphate.
Gotten the words of Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Saldana of Sokoto and the Premier of the Northern Region. Let me remind you, he said, and I quote, "The new nation called Nigeria should be the estate of our great-grandfather Usman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We shall use the minority of the North as willing tools and the South as conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, nor have control of their future." These were the words of Ahmadu Bello during his independence speech, as reported in Parrot newspaper, October 12, 1960.
That is the exact statement made by Ahmadu Bello. And from then till today, they have held Nigeria as their estate, as their personal property, as their inheritance. And why am I saying this? Recently, we had the governors of the southern Nigeria, the southeast, southwest, south, came together in Asaba to ban open grazing and made strong statement regarding the structure of Nigeria that will deliver to a large extent the regional autonomy. That is their statement, whether political or not political. Now, the owners of Nigeria are asking, why will their slaves ever mention or have a meeting that will affect the owners of the estate, who are the caliphate, that's the Fulani Caliphate? Why would they have such meeting without consulting them first? Now that one paid me pass. Make una listen.
Whatever you do for me without me is against me. Ask all those, whatever, 13, 15 governors that met in that hotel. Was there any of the Fulani leaders consulted? Any of the Fulani leaders consulted? So they are there making laws for people that they have not consulted. This is a problem with government. Disconnected, out of touch with realities of people. You must sit down and talk with people you are making laws for. None of that those governors have sat down with Fulani leaders in wherever they are and tell them what we are planning to do, or what we're going to do, or what alternatives are there. And then they're sitting down there and making laws.
When I hear them, what an audacity. You see, there's one thing I know about the Fulanis, because I've witnessed one myself. In Enugu, when ADF, Alibo Development Foundation, led by Uzodin Mawala, took the federal government and the Nigerian army to court regarding the Python dance they did in Southeast that resulted in the death of many young people, innocent people. The judge squashed that case, terminated that case with impunity. He said to the court and to the lawyers that he will squash this case and nothing will happen. I also witnessed it during the time the IPOB, led by the Elders Council, of which Barrister Emeka Emekesiri was their what do you call it? Their legal counsel. Good. The judge there, in the same judge, in the same court, I was there myself. I saw it. Kuro said that you squash this case and nothing will happen. And he did, and nothing happened. He did, and nothing happened. The one that paid me pass, even the federal government or the army, do not even have their legal counsel. The judge became the lawyer for the federal government, and as well the judge. That is the kind of Nigeria you have. That is the kind of Nigeria these people want us to belong. That is the kind of Nigeria our political class are playing cosmetic politics with. These are the same people you call you one Nigeria. How can you be one with this kind of mentality, with this kind of people that sees you as slaves, that sees your land as their home, their own estate, their own inheritance, your homeland? Strangers, that futajalons, that marauders, what name would you use to describe these people? Yet they lay claim. You know the time when they were having their serious hiccups in Benue State. They made bold to say that Benue State is their property because they have conquered those areas. You see, they believe that as long as Nigeria is concerned, that colonization, listen to this, colonization brought a stop to their advancement to taking over the entire territory of Nigeria during the jihad of Usman Dan Fodio. And under this government, they are pushing that agenda with double quick march. Nami Tokam. They are pushing the same agenda through various means. They have been doing it all this while. Oh. It is not under Buhari that it started. Oh. It started way back, 1960, under Ahmadu Bello. It was Ahmadu Bello that declared Northernization policy. In case you don't know what is Northernization policy, I will tell you. Listen to Ahmadu Bello again.
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or a permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first, a northerner first, a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee.
This Northernization policy is Northerners first. And when he means Northerners, he means Fulanis, number one. Because they have conquered the north. They have conquered other people and other minorities of the north. They have conquered them. So, Northerners first. And they now modified it into what they call today federal character principle. Making Northerners first. In employment, first. In appointment, first. In resource disbursement, first. They get the lion's share. In everything in Nigeria, they are first. Now, this government is doing that with double quick march as though time is running out of them. That is what is happening. Nothing more, nothing less. You have to understand these things. I've been saying this thing from day one on this platform, in case you don't know. We have done documentaries, we have brought these things out, we have analyzed these things, but my people's eyes are closed. But we keep bringing it to you. Now this one now, where all of us, the witness, some people don't even understand where these things are heading to. You see, in 2015, when Buhari was coming in, I was talking about nothing, Fulanization and Islamization. It is not even about Islamization. It is complete Fulanization. The complete jihad to take over your land. Because if you look at the way things have been going on, the policies of and the interests of the federal government in ensuring that they give your land to these marauders at all costs, they have not shown any kind of disguise. They are completely upfront to ensure that they take over your land. Through Ruga, through cow colony, through this, through that, taking over your river banks and the rest of them. All in the bid to grab your land and hand it over to them. You know what will happen? Now let me tell you. Southerners, make I tell una. Igbos particularly, make I yarn una. Say una be Christians, no doubt. Una don't embrace Western civilization. Clap for yourself. That one I no get problem. One man, one wife. Then you now add it. You now add it. Family planning. The one where we say you born one, you born two, like Oyibo. Then these people, when they go into your forest, they multiply like this. One man to 12 wives with 100 children. And I'll be soon. What will happen is that you will become minority in your homeland. Tell me how else they intend to take over your land. That is the exact plan. Now you've had it. Share this video. Expose this wickedness. Yet our political class, our political misleaders are blindfolded with the corrupt system of Nigeria. They are cashing in to cash out. This is not a matter of politics or religion or this. This is something that in the next 20 years, if care is not taken, I've said my own. Now you've heard it. Share it. Sound this warning to everyone because it is on your doorstep. I'm signing out. I'm the voice of the people, the voice of God, the voice of our ancestors, and I've spoken as directed. All you need to do is to share it. Drop your comment. Let me have your opinion. I'll be signing out. But not without telling you, subscribe, like, and share. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. And by the way, let me tell you this, that Facebook have blocked my account on Facebook for doing nothing, for the same purpose, because I published this news of the Southern governors meeting. I published it, and that was it. I published it, and they disabled my account. Facebook, when I'm there for free, I will revisit it some other time. That is all I can tell you. Please stay safe.